if they went into Colorado looking to arrest 100 Tren de Aragua gang members, I think they ended up with one, Nicole, because that operation was leaked. Those guys were able to scatter like cockroaches.
These guys were able to scatter like cockroaches.
Those guys were able to scatter like cockroaches. So that is...
Shalom. First, I'd like to start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor, said, teachers, tell us, and the boss of great millstone, likewise, brothers, put no this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly, feeding the sheep unto you, brothers and sisters, tuning in. Shalom. Today's lesson is titled, I on Esau, Lies, Tyranny, and Persecution. Let's take a look at that word tyranny before we go into this lesson today. And it means cruel and oppressive government or rule. Now take a look at it. It says a nation under cruel and oppressive government, cruel, unreasonable, or arbitrary use of power or control. Now we're going to go through several clips today, and I saw these, and the spirit came on me to do this because this wasn't something I just could look at and just say, you know what, okay, let it be. We have to bring it out. And what you're going to see when we go through this video, as you saw in that opening clip, you saw that Shedamite devil, she described Jakes as cockroaches scattering. Now, when you think of cockroaches, what do you think of? Pests. Now, what do you do with pests? You squash them, okay? And this is exactly what Esau wants to do, okay, with Jacob, okay, the 12th tribe of Israel, or so-called Black Americans and Latinos. So what we're going to take a look at, okay, in this throughout this lesson is one, you're going to see that they're going to deputize the IRS, okay? So they're putting people that are supposed to be dealing with tax returns, finances, that are going to be out there now chasing after Jakes. Was this raid leaked? That's a question, okay? Fear of their century's life, and you're going to see them talk about this, okay? And you heard that Sheeta might talk about that. Expanded operation, okay? Here's another thing that they're going to be doing. This is what that Zah said, and they're letting you know that failure is not an option. Okay, let's go in our first scripture here. This is the book of Isaiah 32, and verse 7 reads, the instruments also of the churl are evil. He devised wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak it right. Now, they talk about that there is 11 million so-called migrants or illegals here in Great Babylon, America. Now, I Google this and take a look at what you have to see about this. Okay, they're making it look like out of that 11 million that are here that they have to go and get because so many of them are criminals. Okay, they're coming from countries that okay, what are the countries that they're saying? Mostly coming from Mexico, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. Okay, so basically coming from South America. You can see right now they're, creating this type of hysteria that these raids are being leaked. They need to find a perpetrator who's leaking these raids, okay? And that Jakes are getting a leg up to escape, okay? And you can see the disgust on these people's face, okay? So we're watching very closely. When you're going after the pests, as this Sheeta might describe, cockroach, there's that lack of empathy, that lack of feeling. In fact, when you go into the book of Isaiah 19 and 4, because right now we're in that cruel Lord's hand, okay, which is Trump, okay? It says, and the Egyptians will I give into the hands of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So we're here in Great Babylon, America, under the rulership of a cruel Lord who really is actually going to show what he's really all about, with that great wrath that he's going to bring on this earth. And these Edomites, okay, including that Shedamite standing up there, you're not going to fare any better than the so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos here in Great Babylon, America.
Welcome back now to the border. A memo from ICE was leaked, and that memo revealed details of a planned crackdown on illegals in Los Angeles. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says she believes the FBI leaked it. Noam posted this on X. The FBI is so corrupt. We will work with any and every agency to stop leaks and prosecute these crooked deep state agents to the fullest extent of the law, writes the Department of Homeland Security Secretary. It comes days after a similar leak happened for a raid in Aurora, Colorado, where several Tren de Aragua gang members were allegedly able to escape capture because of the leaked memo.
This is the book of Matthew 12 and 25, and it reads, And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So here you have this Shedemite talking about a leak, and they're accusing the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, of providing this leak. So you can ask yourself, like, why would the FBI leak when the ICE agents or Homeland Security agents are going to supposedly get the bad guys, in Los Angeles and Aurora, Colorado? Okay? And you're going to see when we go into these other clips, something is off. Okay? Something is off. And Esau them, they're looking to escalate this to the next level, because the way you have, or the way like a slick, street musician, a magician, trick you with the cards, or with the trick, is to distract you, get you thinking about something else while they manipulate the cards. So it doesn't make any sense. But we know that Great Babylon America is a divided kingdom. They don't trust each other because why? They're all thieves. Think about that story about Alibaba and the 40 thieves. They stole everything, and eventually they started stealing from each other. So they couldn't even trust each other, even though in the beginning they were of one mind, making other people their victims, from stealing. But here it is now, these Edomites, they're clashing. Okay? They're clashing because within this kingdom, okay, and people in certain positions, they know the real plan of what these so-called ICE raids are about. And they don't feel comfortable that they're guaranteed, safety or comfort when this implodes.
Joining me now is U.S. Border Czar Tom Homan. Tom, it's great to have you. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks for all of your efforts. That's number one. You were at that Colorado raid. Tell me what happened. Do you believe the FBI is behind leaking your plans and allowing these maniacs, these Tren de Aragua gangsters, to escape capture?
Now you see how, because this is from Fox, so of course they down with the Republicans. This is how they report. Now you can see the attitude of the Shedemite. How she is trying to bring Jake out or describe Jake as this animal. Now, when they talk about the gangs from Venezuela, they were setting this up all the while. When under the Biden administration, when they were saying that Venezuela was letting out their prisoners, and they were coming from Venezuela, Colombia, but they particularly focus on Venezuela because there's bad blood between Venezuela and the United States. See, Venezuela has resources that the United States want, which is oil. Okay, they want that, and Venezuela does not bow down to the United States. So that's why they like to use the so-called gang from Venezuela, as the headline in these speech here, because they want to keep it drummed up in, people head here in Great Babylon America, that it's not these people we're trying to get rid of here, the people that you see walking every single day here. No, they're the criminals, okay? Which, we know that they're talking about the 12 tribe of Israel. We're all criminals in their eyes, okay? You can see the proud look on her face, with her glasses on, and she's just like getting into it, okay? Now let's watch it.
Our operation was leaked. We think we found the source of the leak. It's under investigation right now by DHSIG. Secretary Noem, I agree with her that there's some information that tends to show that the second leak in the California operation may have been someone in the FBI. I've talked to the Deputy Attorney General. We talk every day, but this weekend we talked about he has opened up a criminal investigation into that leak. So when we find these people and we have the evidence to support a prosecution, that's exactly what's going to happen. They don't understand. I don't care what their political beliefs are. This isn't about politics. This is about the safety of our officers. It's only a matter of time if these leaks continue that our officers are going to walk into a place and be ambushed by someone who just don't care about life. And
this is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11 reads, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Now you can see this man speaking here. He supposedly is the border czar, and he's talking about this leak, and they think they have an idea who, leak their operation, which, come on, this is the United States of America. You're trying to tell me they can carry operation all across the earth, Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom, all these operations, okay? And these are the nations, and we're talking sovereign nations, don't even see when the first bullet hit them, because this is how stealthy the United States go in when they go in to go make their move on a target. So you're trying to tell me that they don't have this under wrap for an operation this big that has been signed into legislation, okay, or signed by the President of the United States, okay, even before he came in. And notice that he came about, and I said to you that one of the things that they're going to talk about is this leak and the fear of their century's life. Now, he said that it's just going to be a matter of time before, one of these, as that lady described, cockroaches, and then this bitch here described as, scourge or menace, is going to put down one of these ICE agents or one of these agents that they're going to be bringing out there. And we know when you look at that, this is a setup, okay? This is a setup so that some way, somehow they're going to create a situation, or, it could be fake, they're going to fake a situation, I should say, in which they're going to say, X amount of agents were ambushed and shot to death and killed like that. This way, Esau can do exactly what he really wants to do. And we can go into Genesis 27 and 41. Okay, where Esau, this is going to be the start of that purge that we've been telling you, Jake's about. Okay, Genesis 27:41 says, and Esau hated Jacob, okay, the so-called white man, the Edomites, okay, the so-called Caucasians, okay, white people, hated Jacob, which is the 12 tribe of Israel, us so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos, and Hispanics, okay, because of the blessing within. His father blessed him, and Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then I will slay my brother Jacob, kill. But they need a way to do it, okay, just like how they rally everybody up, when like with that fake 9/11 attack here on Great Babylon, America, and then they went over there and slaughtered those women and children over there in Afghanistan and Iraq, okay? Just like how right now they're trying to, bring it up that, Iran is trying to assassinate Trump so they could go over there and attack Iran too. This is what their intention is. So right now what they're creating is they're trying to instill it in everybody's head that these criminals, these menace, okay, these Hispanics, okay, bad boys, Venezuelans, okay, which when you look at the Northern Kingdom tribe, they all look alike, okay? Just like when you look at the Southern Kingdom tribes, Benjamin, Levi, and Judah, we all look alike. You can tell the difference until we open our mouth and you hear a different accent, or we tell you where we're from, all right? So basically they're setting it up so that they can go in there really heavy-handed. And guess what? The public will sit back and go, yeah, they deserve that. They killed agent. These bad people, okay? But it gets better. Stay tuned for more.
And are going to take these ICE officers on. It's already a dangerous job. Giving the bad guys a head up, we're coming, is going to just make the job much more dangerous. We're taking it serious. It's under criminal investigation. Those who are responsible will be held criminally responsible, and we'll prosecute them.
That's unbelievable. What are you going to do to keep your raids quiet? I mean, you know, now you know somebody on the inside is leaking your plans, and you can't have that.
No, that's why we're going to take serious action, and it's under criminal investigation. I think once that word gets out and we're making it known, we're going to prosecute. We don't care if you carry a badge or gun or not. You will be criminally prosecuted, and we'll lock you up. So, look, we're keeping the plans real tight. You know, I said from day one, we want to be transparent with the American people that we truly are concentrating on public safety threats and national security threats. So we had some media ride-alongs. Bill Malusian did the Aurora. But, you know, we're keeping things close hold now. We're reevaluating, you know, how much media ride-along we want. I'm not pointing the finger at them. We can't show any leaks by the friendly media, but we're looking at everything. But here's what people need to understand. We're going to keep coming. This is not going to slow us down. In sanctuary cities, you want to put roadblocks up? We'll double the manpower in sanctuary cities. We'll double the targeting in sanctuary cities. If we can't get them out of their home, we'll get them at the workplace. We're going to increase worksite enforcement tenfold. We are not walking away. We're coming. We're not going to be stopped. We're going to keep President Trump's promise on looking for those who are in the country illegally that are a public safety threat. Nothing will stop us from doing this job.
So you heard the word of that devil speaking there. You know, he's talking about the fact that, you know, as I mentioned earlier, expanded operations, okay, failure is not an option, okay, because you have Nero Caesar in charge of Great Babylon America, okay, that wicked, evil, oppressive, fierce ruler, which these Babylonians are about to realize that they're not in good hands. Okay, let's go into the book of Deuteronomy 28, okay, and we'll discuss, you know, what he just talked about a little bit more, because you jakes that are right now partying, you know, you're in that mirth of it's Valentine, okay, it's Valentine coming up in 2 days. So here's you pacified, simple men, instead of being lions for your household and being watchmen, okay, for your fragile woman who have a big fucking mouth. You're going out to go buy flowers and candies and they're going sugar pops and whatever the hell else is like that. While this man right now, through setting up a situation in which they're saying there's a leak and they can't get the people that they want. They said they were supposed to be getting, and I'll bring that up a little bit later, the number that they were looking to get, because Trump actually had given them orders that they need to arrest over 1,000 so-called criminals a day, or illegals a day, and right now they're only getting somewhere around 200, 300, 400. Not good enough, especially for a man like Trump. Let's go into the book of Deuteronomy 28 and start where 65 reads. Just keep in mind, we are still under the curses. It says, and among these nations shall thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy feet have rest, but the Lord Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. Okay, this is about to escalate into beyond, okay, they have a, you know, they're telling the media that they're dealing with criminals, so they're only going after the criminals. But what people are not hearing is they're saying that's the first phase. That's the first phase, okay? So you need, they say they have multiple phases. So you got to wonder about those multiple phases. If you understand Esau, if you serve in Esau's military or his law enforcement, you will understand that, okay, how they do things, okay? It says, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. This is going to become a common thing for the Hebrew Israelites here in Great Babylon, America. We are still under these curses. The only people that are going to understand this is the man that you see bringing this out, okay, on the unicorn, which is the YouTube and these other platforms, these media platforms, and also we go out on the highway and the byway as commanded, to, okay, so that y'all can see the prophets out there bringing it out to you, okay? And the Lord has us looking just like you. We're simple looking. We can feel. We have emotions. We can die every day, but we have something that most of you don't have: faith. And we have a head out of our ass. So this man is saying that they're looking to not even have media ride along with them anymore. So what does that mean? So if they have no reporters riding along with them, no media riding with them, that means that they can do this really no one watching them. Because the only reason right now you see these, you know, if you take a look at how they're arresting, you know, the so-called illegals, okay, they, you know, gently snapping on the handcuffs or zip tying them, and you know, and when you look at that to the ignorant idiot or stupid Babylonian and stupid Jake, you will think that, oh, they're not rough with them, they're not slamming them on the ground and stuff like that. Okay, they're being gentle with them for now. But when he's saying right now it's because there's a leak, they don't know who they can trust, so they may not be taking the media with them on these raids, you know, cameras, okay, which means what? They're going to do exactly what Esau likes to do best, okay? I can tell you, okay, how, and I'm not going to go in details because I don't really give out anything about myself personally, but how these arrests is made, you know, military style, okay? It's very different from what you see in the civilian sector, okay? So this man right now, his frustration is rising up because they don't understand that the Lord, Yahweh Shemir Shai, is controlling them. Okay? Just like how he's controlling us to go out there and bring out this truth and this gospel. Okay? So they don't understand it. So they're frustrated. And that's how the Lord does it. Okay? Keep in mind, if you remember how the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh. Okay? When we first came out of Egypt. Okay? In our first captivity. Okay? When we came out of Egypt. Okay? He plagued Egypt. Okay, and kept hardening Pharaoh so that Pharaoh would even go and persecute us even more, to the tune of us creating bricks, okay, without the straw. This is how the Lord is going to do the Egyptians in here in Great Babylon, America, okay, or our rulers, okay. He's going to frustrate them, making them even more and more and more angry, okay. So we don't understand how the Lord actually deals, because you know his ways is above the way we think. We go into second Ezra because what he's talking about, as you hear him say, we don't give a crap about sanctuary cities. We don't care about what, you know, the city is going to safeguard these people or whatever the case is. That we're gonna come in there even with 10 times more to force. So that when you look into second Ezra 16, 70, it matches exactly what this is talking about. It says, for there should be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, which is the natural state that the true biblical Hebrew Israelite have of Yahweh Bashim Shai. They should be like madman, sparing none. They don't care if you are a citizen. They don't give a crap if you have green card or if you have naturalization, a passport. They don't care. At this stage right now, especially when they fake that these so-called gangs, you know, Venezuelan gangs are now killing agents, you know, and they are now going up against armed, okay, people, because now that again, they're talking about the cartel, and we're going to bring that up, that's coming up. It said, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Listen to this carefully, because I'm going to repeat that again into this next segment of this video that you're going to hear what this man says. So they're about to go heavy-handed, but they need to perpetrate or get the public to think that the violence came from the people that they were trying to casually and peacefully arrest. But because of the leakage that's going on, these targets are now waiting for them to ambush them and hurt them. Okay? You know, Esau owns Hollywood, man. You know, they can create all kinds of special effects. They own the media, everything. Nobody gives a crap. It's just niggas and spics. Listen up to the next segment here.
I know Joe Biden hired tens of thousands of IRS agents to try to look under every rock and audit all American citizens so that he can get more money raised through tax audits. How are you going to transition those people to become border agents?
Well, it's really not that difficult for the IRS special agents who carry a badge and gun. They can certainly help on these operations. It only takes one immigration official with Title 8 authority, immigration authority, to make that arrest. But we can always use more armed officers to watch the perimeter, watch the back door. And certainly the non-officers in IRS, They can do keystrokes. They can sit there and process an illegal alien for us, and that takes a badge and gun out of that processing office and put them on the streets, which increases the manpower on the streets, increases the number of teams on the street. So they can be a force multiplier in many ways. I agree with the Secretary. We can use them in law enforcement and investigative capacity to chase the money, right? These criminal cartels count on the money they make. That's how they buy off Mexican officials. That's how they pay off, the corrupt customs officials. So chasing the money, IRS, great work. But they can also help in operations with their law enforcement presence. And those who aren't law enforcement officers, there's many jobs we could put them in where we can take a badge and gun out of a non-enforcement job and put them back on the street. So there'll be a force multiplier. I agree 100%. Let's put them to work.
That's great. I mean, it's a good idea. Look, the last time we spoke, you were in an undisclosed location. And, we knew that it was a very sensitive operation. I mean, this is obviously... Partly it was leaked. We didn't do it, but you were in an undisclosed location. I didn't say where you were. And I asked you a question. I said, are you going to be able to bust up these networks that have already created huge businesses in America? Because the drug cartels, they charge everybody to get over the border. They put them inside the border, but then they have to keep paying those drug cartels. And they have actually started businesses here in America. I'm talking about drug trafficking business and even worse, human trafficking going on in America. How substantive is that? How persistent is that? And are you busting any of them?
Yes, human trafficking investigations are up over 300%, so we're on top of that. Not only human trafficking investigation, but the cartel's presence in our major cities in the country. So it's just not Tren de Agua. Look, I'm not going to be happy to every single member of Tren de Agua out of the country. We're going to eradicate them from the United States, along with the other criminal cartels who are taking a presence in every major city. There used to be the day they just smuggle the guns smuggle the narcotics into the United States. Then our gangs, United States gangs, would do the distribution. They are now in every major city in the country. They've taken over even the interior distribution networks of the narcotics trafficking. They're on top of our list. We're working very close with DEA. DEA side by side with us on this interior enforcement operation along with the FBI.
This is the book of Proverbs 29 and 12, and it reads, if a ruler hearkens to lies, all his servants are wicked. So first of all, Trump, who is the ruler of Great Babylon, America, okay, he hearkens to lies, which he got from the elites, okay? Your Bilderbergs, your George Soros, your, who else? Your Rockefeller, okay? These people who are the elites and many more, okay? Because they keep changing their name and their identity, but we know exactly who they are. Okay, so they're the one that give the marching order, okay, to these puppet governments or these puppet presidents, okay, who hearken to the lies, who then give those orders out to all of his servants. And they're wicked. This is a very wicked man right here, this Baltazar man. He's extremely wicked. So now you heard some of the things that he talked about. He's talking about, human trafficking. The greatest human trafficker on this earth that ever existed is the so-called white man. Okay, how the hell do you think the so-called Negroes got over here? Okay, 400 years of human trafficking. Okay, and if I put the image of the things that they have done to us, such as buck breaking, which is where these cracker men, okay, would ass rape, okay, our men, and our women, okay, but that buck breaking was raping our men, not to mention, our children. All these things that they've done, okay? You have some of these Hollywood producers and Weinstein, okay? Who have private islands in the Caribbean in which they have these exotic parties where they drink the blood of children that they've kidnapped from these other countries, and have all these sexual events. How the hell do you think P. Diddy learned what he did? Okay, we're having what 10,000 bottles of baby oil. So they're using human trafficking and trying to focus that on Jakes, as if the Jakes who are the cartels, okay, as they call them, okay, are mainly in human trafficking and also in the drugs, which the drugs is being made out in China, okay, and these other Edomite nations. And they give them to these cartels who are set up by the CIA, to go and distribute those drugs across the world, and particularly try to get them inside J communities. Now they just what they're looking at right now. See, the Lord caught them in a snare in the net, because when the crack epidemic was going on in the so-called black communities, everybody stood back on the side and folded their arms and go, look at those niggas, they're destroying themselves. But now the Lord gave them a more potent drug called fentanyl, okay, and these other zombie drugs that is impacting their precious little, Edomite children and the men and the women. And a lot of them will get hooked on fentanyl when they see the price of food in the next couple of months, okay? And as this place starts to fall down, and then they can hear the chorus, okay, of Jake singing, "We told you so. We told you, the so-called white man, your government was wicked. That's what we've been marching for the last 70 years, trying to tell you." Okay? And Jake them are making mockery of them right now on videos on TikTok. Okay? As these Edomites losing their mind. But let's get back to this wicked demon here, this so-called Zah. See, what you just need to understand is this. They're using, okay, the obvious, bad boys as a means to pretend like that's who they're targeting. But what they're going to do is, when they talk about the fact that, or what they're saying is that these cartels have, people working for them in the United States is setting up businesses and laundering the money and all that stuff. They can come to your little taco shop or your little business that you dug on, so-called Mexicans are so proud of, here, have yourself established and have these nice big houses. Oh, you got to come from Texas and California, see these, how Northern Kingdom tribes live, man. And that's why they look down on their darker skinned brothers and sisters who live a lot poorer than they do, okay, and who face more racism than they did prior to 2025, which now the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is bringing that judgment on the entire tribe of Israel, particularly the 2/3, which is going to be that Jacob's trouble that we're already started in right now. So they're looking to come and raid your little taco shop. Where did you get this money from? Huh? Imagine that. Imagine you have an IRS agent who's also posing as a ICE agent or a immigration agent. So they're crossing the lines of what the work's supposed to be for each one of these people. Okay, they're crossing those lines, right? Because an ICE agent might come and say, "Well, let me see your paper," or an IRS agent who can detain you is going to say, "Gee, how are you staying in business? Your business license, let me look at your books, all this other stuff with that. Oh, wait a minute, you're making too much money. You got to be funded by the cartels." You see how this is going to go? When we tell you that this man is going to manipulate this into coming after all of us and questioning, your years of working 2-3 jobs to get what you have, and they can just take it away from you with accusations, no proof at all, because guess what? As they get moving with this and the violence escalate, because especially you 2/3 over here that want to remain here, you're going to fight to keep what you have. The rest of us, when they come, take what you want, buddy. Okay, Great Babylon America is going to be destroyed. It doesn't matter. We're going to wilderness. We don't have attachment to any material things, and we let everybody in this ministry and this truth know. Don't get attached to anything or anybody for that matter. So you can see what this man is talking about. This goes a lot deeper, and I brought it out, but it says failure is not an option. They're expanding their operation. They're deputizing the IRS. Okay, they're using this leak raid as a means to set up some type of false flag, as if like many of them die, which that's not going to be the case. Just like how, not to get off subject, how they basically collide into that plane. Told the plane to go land on runway 33, which we know is symbolic of the Masons, okay? And then they crash that plane and kill all those people on board that plane. This is what you're dealing with, Jake. This is what you're dealing with.
We know the administration's goal is about 12 to 1,500 arrests every single day, but how many are actually happening?
Yeah, right now, unfortunately, it seems that those numbers are slowing down a little bit and falling short there because we're only averaging around 611 arrests through ICE right now. And the president may have said publicly that he wasn't frustrated, but behind closed doors, he expressed that he wants more arrests. And he actually told sources that are familiar here that the numbers are, quote, too effing low. So when it comes to these numbers, something that we're tracking here, Borders Czar Tom Homan saying that he is pushing for higher numbers while still prioritizing public safety threats and national security threats. But here's the thing. Homan isn't happy with the numbers either. In fact, he wants to see them triple. Take a listen to what he told our Kelly Meyer this morning.
Mr. Homan, is the president happy with the number of arrests?
I'm not. The arrests, if you look at the arrests in the interior enforcement, about 3 times higher than it was a year ago today. 3 times higher is good, but I'm not satisfied. There's more criminal aliens that need to be arrested, hundreds of thousands. Sanctuary cities are putting roadblocks up. We got leaks. So we need to increase the arrest of illegal aliens, especially those with criminal convictions. So we're going to continue. So 3 times higher is good. The numbers are good. For me, not good enough. We got to get more.
So you heard him there. He's not satisfied. Homan, meantime, says that they need congressional funding to be successful in these efforts. They need bed space. Right now, they're utilizing government resources like Fort Bliss. We know Guantanamo Bay is receiving some flights, but they're also leaning on states like Georgia. We were able to confirm that the prison in Atlanta is actually being used to house illegal immigrants marked for deportation as well. Now, in order to actually help cover more ground here, because not just bed space that is an issue, we've seen all these different agencies jump in to help, and you can count on the IRS as well here, Nicole, because the Department of Homeland Security actually is seeking to deputize some of its IRS agents, namely the ones that have an investigative background, so can actually help out with some of these ICE arrests and jump in. So that is one effort that they're making to kind of get to that 12 to 1,500 number that you heard them talking about there.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about those IRS agents in just a bit. But first, Allie, so we know about manpower, we know about bed space. What else is potentially holding up ICE when it comes to carrying out the president's promise?
Yeah, so a really big issue that we've seen now, because we've seen several operations set up by the Department of Homeland Security, by ICE to go in on these targeted operations, but unfortunately, they're being leaked. And when these operations are leaked, they're ending up being delayed. They have to switch things up because Tom Homan says the bad guys know that they're coming. So last night, the Borders Czar actually said they're investigating the leaks in both Colorado and now Los Angeles. Homan says that they believe they've identified who is behind each one of these leaks, and they're going to be seeking prosecution. So Homan says that they believe one tracks back to the FBI. They say the Attorney General is investigating this one right now. They want this person fired without pension. So that is what we expect to see out of the Trump administration in the coming days. But Homan said, though, he said this is not a game. This is putting the officers' lives at risk. And also it gives the bad guys a heads up, right? They went into Colorado looking to arrest 100 Tren de Aragua gang members. I think they ended up with 1, Nicole, because that operation was leaked. Those guys were able to scatter like cockroaches. So that is what they're up against right now. And they're going after the people that are responsible for these leaks. Homan says, hey, you might know we're coming, but we're not going to slow down. So we'll see what happens next, Nicole.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
This is the book of Proverbs 14 and verse 31 reads, he that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker, but he that honored him had mercy on the poor. So Esau, of course, the thought of Yahweh Shemashai is not in his thoughts and not in his mind. This is the reason why you see they're right now, moving forward with this NWO, the New World Order, which is going to encompass the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, which is the reason why you see Elon Musk, of all people, happens to be at Trump's side. And what does Elon Musk deals with? Technology. Okay, he's now the current reigning richest man on the earth, according to media, which we know that's far from the truth. Okay, however, he is a part of that diabolical plan that these elites have. Okay, and first you need to have chaos. Now, we've gone throughout this video and you can see that they're setting up a situation for chaos by pretending that Jakes, okay, so-called bad Jakes, have slaughtered, okay, in an ambush because of leak situation. And I'm curious of who they're gonna point the finger at. Could it be a Jake that's an FBI agent, or is it, an Edomite? We'll see. Or is it a whole lot of them? We're gonna see. But they're clearly setting up a situation in which they're going to fake an ambush and say, 20, 30, 40, or maybe 5 or 6, agents were put down in an ambush, and now just give them the license to kill any Jake that they see. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. See, you Northern Kingdom tribes right now, especially the fact that most Northern Kingdom tribes look alike. Venezuelans, I can't tell the difference between a Venezuelan or a Mexican or an Ecuadorian. I can tell you the difference. Just like you can't tell the difference between Judah, Levi, and Benjamin. Okay? So you walking around with tattoos and you get a little bit of an attitude, they can come heavy-handed, man. And now they're going to take the media out of the equation, meaning they're not going to have cameras following them. Because now, as President Trump had already said, anyone, okay, or criminal that hurt a federal agent or a law enforcement person, cop, so to speak, is going to be executed, meaning put to death. And he's signing a law which there's not going to be any type of punitive damages or lawsuits or whatever the case is like that, which is typically what we see here in Great Babylon, America. Like when you go back to the Rodney King beating, he ended up with what, $2 million or something like that in a settlement. That's not going to be the case anymore. They're just going to beat you to damn death, leave you in the street, and that's the end of that, or throw you in a morgue or whatever the case is like that. Okay? So what you're seeing here is they're setting up that narration. This is the feeling I got through the spirit when I saw these clips. Okay? We go in the book of Psalms 10, and Psalm 7 says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. On his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places till he murder the innocent. His eyes are privy set against the poor. We are the poor. Doesn't matter if you have a nice home or whatever case it is. We're poor, man. We're gods. Gods ain't supposed to live like this. Sneezing and coughing with backache and doggone wondering where the hell your next meal is going to come from. That's bullshit. Okay? But we're still under the punishment and under the curses. Okay? And this man right now is getting ready to execute that judgment on his Jacob's trouble. And guess who's behind all of it? The Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. And this is why we're out there on the highway, the byway, on this unicorn, to let you Hebrew Israelites know what is about to come upon the children of the Lord, the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. Now the rest of these tribes, they're going to get judged too. But we're not really preaching to them. They will hear this gospel is preached across the earth. But we're not concerned about them. They are about to face some hell they can't even begin to even comprehend. Okay? While they sit back on the side and think, this doesn't pertain to us. Okay? Sitting in the usual, crystal ball or ivory tower or whatever the case is like that. I got me a good job. I got things going for me. This doesn't bother me, concern me. Yes, it does. More than you even begin to imagine. Okay? But we're raised up to warn our people. Our people. Because as the Lord has made it very clear, the rest of you tribes are like spit in the bucket. He created you to serve us. You're nothing. You're nothing, and you will find it out the very, 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 very hard way. Okay? Real soon. So, as you see, we brought it back to the beginning where the Shedemite, described Jakes as cockroaches scattering. Okay? Cockroaches scattering. And right now they're about to expand this operation to the next level. But first, we need an incident. So I'm going to keep a look on this, keep an eye on this, because that's what we do as watchmen. We don't have time to deal with the things that's going on in this world. It doesn't concern us. This place is done. You can't even get a decent meal anymore. Lord willing, the lack of satisfied, let the close it by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Shalom.